Have Good Sporting, episode 55, I believe. A big one. Chaos ensued this weekend in college football. Coaches being fired left and right. And the big one, Billy Napier out as head coach of the Florida Gators. Wish you the best of luck, Billy, but it was your time. Okay, we let you end on a win. Take your 20 million. Go back, go be successful at a small program, work your way back up, but your time at Florida is done. And we're moving on. Who is the next guy? Well, not the next guy. Who is going to be the guy to get the Gators back to where they were? 1A, Lane Kiffin. I think everyone except the athletic director wants Lane Kiffin, which is it's a big part of it. But I think the boosters all in on Lane. The fans want Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. Here's the pros about Lane Kiffin in terms of your recruiting pitch to Florida is the best coach you've ever had, Steve Spurrier, is who Lane Kiffin aspires to be. He wears the visor. He's got the big personality. He talks, he scores a lot of points, and he needs a title to be the crown jewel of his coaching career. And if he doesn't think he can do it at Oxford, what better place to do it than at your hero's alma mater? The Gators are going to make a huge swing at Lane Kiffin. Now, there are some cons that come with Lane Kiffin. That some aren't necessarily Lane Kiffin's fault. One of them being the pressure that Gator fans put on this team to be successful is it's so much pressure. They put a lot of pressure on their coaches. You got to be successful in year one, essentially, just to get your name off the hot seat. It's like one of the only big programs where you essentially start on the hot seat and you got to work your way off of it. But we're also in an era of college football where turnarounds can happen very quickly. And I think, and I'll give credit to Billy Napier for this one, is I think he got a lot of people to buy into Florida, the school. And I know all the players love Billy Napier. And they're sad to see him go, right? They like the guy. He's a good guy. But they're Gators at heart. And I think you did a good job recruiting guys that were Gators from the start and will likely stay no matter who's the head coach. What else helps is before this year, if a coach got fired, the transfer portal opens immediately. 30-day window right after the coach gets fired, and players have to make their choice. And in the spur of the moment, there's a lot of guys that are going to transfer away because they committed to a coach. Now the coach is gone. Or they're like, oh, I have 30 days to make a choice. I don't know who the next coach is going to be. Probably should get out just to be safe. Now, Napier recruited a lot of guys that like being Gators, and that portal won't open until 5 days after the new coach is hired. So the players get to sit on this for a little bit. They keep playing for the Gators this year. And, who knows? Maybe you end the season well and they're like, hey, it's not so bad here, even without the guy that I originally committed to. And then even when you hire a new guy, that coach has 5 days to convince guys to come back or tell them that unfortunately they're not going to have, an offer to play here anymore. And then after those 5 days with the new coach, then you have the 15-day portal window where you can decide to stay or go. So that is very advantageous, especially since Florida is right now the best job on the market. And I think this year will be the best job on the market unless there's an epic collapse with Brian Kelly and LSU, which you never know. You never know. It looks like it could maybe happen. But you have to get out in front of this coaching search. You got to identify your guy. Unfortunately, the guys you really want to come are probably going to be coaching into January. But you got to make a offer that a guy like Lane Kiffin can't refuse and tell him, hey, you don't have to tell anyone. We won't tell anyone. Keep coaching. Coach your heart out for Ole Miss. then pack your bags, baby, because you're coming home. But, and I think it should be Lane Kiffin. I think he's a guy that can have success in year one. Napier is not leaving him. He's leaving him with talent. He's leaving the program and all the institutions in that football program in a good spot. I do believe that. So, the next coach has a chance to succeed immediately, and I think a lot of guys could do it. I think Drinkwitz, I don't know if he could do it immediately. Franklin, I think he'd be like 8-4 in his first year, but the thing with Franklin is I mean, with the pressure from the Gator fans and him being unable thus far to win the big one, that's going to be, I don't know how Gator fans are going to feel about that because, however, every coach was unable to win the big one until they did. Even Kirby still can't get the Bama, the Bama monkey off its back, you know? So a lot of jobs are going to open up. Auburn probably opening up within the next month for sure. Who else? Arkansas is open. Penn State's open. You're not really fighting Arkansas for whatever coach they want. You're probably not having a lot of crossover with Penn State. Maybe if Marcus Freeman gets calls from both places, you're thinking about that. But you got Lane's name circled. You got, I mean, who else is Florida going to reach out to? Jeff Brom's going to get a call for sure. Big win against Miami, Louisville, like the best team in the ACC really the last few years in terms of conference wins. He probably doesn't want to leave Louisville. I believe that's his alma mater. Drinkwitz, I mentioned, going to get a call. You're not going to call a lot of NFL guys. Lincoln Riley probably not going to be involved with this one like he was last time. Who else? Who was I thinking of? Marcus Freeman, I said, right? Um, I mean, the more time passes, the more I think it's just Lane. I think it's gotta be Lane Kiffin. You have to go get your guy because he will leave. He will leave. It's like people are like, oh, and honestly, he has plenty of reasons to stay. Like he's finally happy. He's a human person. Let's not discount the fact that he really has it made down there and he's happy. I wouldn't leave, if I was happy. But he's uprooted his life before. He's had several high profile jobs. He's felt pressure. He's growing into his own as a coach. I mean, he's like 50 now. I think the prime of his coaching career is ahead of him. And I think you got to say, hey, come be the best. The best version of yourself needs to be at Florida because the best version of yourself probably doesn't reach all your goals and aspirations in Oxford. So you just have to go get your guy. You have to go get your guy. And if Scott Strickland, oh my God, where you hired a search firm that has done executive level hirings at a pretty high rate. But if Scott Strickland has too much of a hand in this, I fear the worst. I fear he might make some bad decisions. All right. Enough about Florida. You guys know who I want. Shocker. What else do we have to talk about, man? All right, we're gonna move into a little recap preview situation. We're gonna look at the Heisman, the playoffs. Like I did my midseason awards. UCLA won again. Big fan of UCLA these days. Bowl berth incoming for them, I bet. But look, the best teams in the country are starting to become apparent. Okay, Ohio State should be the heavy favorite to win it all. Julian Sayin is only getting better and better. And I talked about this, I think a few weeks ago, I talked about this, saying, I don't think Ohio State's offense was where it needed to be for a few weeks this year. But last year, obviously, they lose to Michigan, and then the version of Ohio State we saw in the playoffs and win the national championship was like, this is the most proficient and efficient team in a while, just dominating. Beat like several top 10, top 5 teams in the playoff. The streak of teams they beat in the playoff was ridiculous. And I was like, They might struggle with Julian Sane to begin the year. If they can find that form halfway through this year instead of in the playoffs, they're going to have so much less questions coming into the playoff and could be more dominant. So right now, I don't think there is a team in the nation that can touch Ohio State. The SEC is cannibalizing itself. Bama and Georgia are seemingly the best two teams in the conference again. Like that's not shocking. A&M has the hardest part of their schedule coming up. I think if you go, they're 7-0 right now. You got 5 games left. Just go 3-2, get into the playoff, and make a run for Texas A&M. Because you're not gonna. I don't know if you're winning. I don't know if Texas A&M can win the SEC. I don't know if they can go be like the 1 seed, get a bye week. Because I mean, here's Texas A&M's schedule coming up. You go to LSU, which frankly A&M is capable of beating LSU by a ton of points, but I don't think they will. You go at Mizzou, who luckily or not finds ways to win games. Drinkwitz going to come up in some coaching conversations. So November hits, he might be fielding some calls. You got to go. You can go win that game. And then who told me that this was tough? Brooks Austin, did you tell me that A&M's back half of the schedule was hard? At LSU, tough. At Missouri, that's tough. South Carolina at home, win that one by just scoring more points than them because you're able to on that defense, I believe. Samford's a win, and then at Texas. At Texas, I mean, Texas, like, we're waiting for him to flip the switch, but conventional wisdom would tell you we're far enough into the season to realize that's not going to happen. Now, you go to Texas. Like, Texas beat Oklahoma pretty handily. Don't let that turn into a game where the logo scares you and the road game scares you and you're worried that they might figure something out in the last week of the season. Just go be better than Texas. Go beat them. Frankly, this A&M team could be 11-1. I question their ability to do it all. I feel more confident about Alabama. I think Alabama, dare I say, will go 11-1. They go to South Carolina, home against LSU and Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois. November 22nd is going to be the worst. The worst. Why do we put that game before week 12 or before your 12th game? It's just a boring week of football from a fan's perspective. I mean, frankly, I would love if Florida did that. I'd love a gimme in our second to last game before you go face FSU. Also a gimme. Then they go to Auburn. I mean, they could win out. Georgia could win out. Frankly, Georgia should win out. That Georgia Tech game is going to be fun. It's going to be very fun. Ole Miss, what do they got? Very manageable for Ole Miss. I mean, I think, let's see. SEC is going to get 5 teams in the playoff. So all these one-loss teams, A&M, Bama, Georgia are good. The rest, it's going to be chaos. LSU right now is on probably on the outside looking into the playoff, but if you look at who they have left, Oklahoma, Alabama, A&M, all LSU getting a couple wins down the stretch would throw things for an absolute roller coaster finish for the SEC. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Now don't knock Florida here. The reason we stink is because our offense stinks. The guy that's calling plays is out of here. So let's go ruin some hopes. Let's go ruin some playoff hopes, Florida. Go beat Ole Miss again. And then as you're walking off the field, say, "Hey Lane, come on home, baby. Come on home." It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good finish of the year, but man, you can't help but think that it's a super entertaining year in the SEC. Indiana's the story of the century thus far. UCLA, Indiana, sneaky could be a fun game to watch at noon. I don't think that's big noon kickoff, but it should be. I don't know if it is. Could be. But yeah, playoff picture's starting to be a little clear. My brain not very clear. I'm kind of rambling here. The playoff starting to reveal itself here. Good year for 12 teams in the playoff, I think. Because I mean, there's like four teams that can win it all, which is why you have the four-team playoff. But there's about 20 teams that could make the final like eight, the elite eight of football, if you will. Um, all right, that's it. That's all I got. Short one. I think it's a short one. We got basketball coming up soon. Pumped for basketball season. Get ready for some previews there. I think November 3rd season opens. So 2 Mondays from now, look for all my basketball preview stuff. All right. I got nothing else for you. Thank you for listening. If you're listening, um, what else? What else? I don't think I got much else. Just talking about coaches. Here's the thing with coaching is I had something very articulating. Dude, I'm absolutely losing it. All right. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching episode 55 in the books. Have good sporting. Click every button you can on my page, except for the dislike button. Click them all. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. Bye.